Gotcha. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another live show. This is IrixGuy's live show, episode 148. That's right. There's been 148 live shows so far, and just want to thank all y'all for your viewership, all of your super chats, your subscription, sharing with others. It's been a very interesting journey so far, and I got a lot of really what I think is going to be really super exciting, super engaging content for all of y'all coming here soon on the live shows. So, for starters, this is the IrixGuy's live show. Again, across the board live show. Anything that you type, I can see in real time. We can correspond. I do like to have live guests on here. I've got the studio set up to where I can have live guests, and I've also got, and by the way, that's just a matter of, I'll send you a Skype link, and then you can join through that. So it's super simple. You don't have to deal with any complicated software or anything to do it. But that's a big component. And then part of the IrixGuy's Adventure Channel's umbrella is my newest venture. And that venture is Timepieces for Tomorrow. Timepieces for Tomorrow will not only feature a ton of previously recorded videos, but it also feature an abundance of wristwatch-related content, because that's a hobby that I know a lot of people are interested in, and it's a hobby that, is something that all age groups, everyone can benefit from being part of that hobby. So that's the other live show I'm going to be working on. This live show, obviously, as you can see now, I hope, and I'm checking. Hey, Cameron. Yeah, okay. I was checking with Cameron over there just to make sure that the lighting looks good. So I think we're probably getting a pretty good green screen here. So that's a positive. Got some work done. Quicker Than Drawing. Happy Friday, dudes. Happy Friday, Quicker Than Drawing. Hey, quicker than everyone else chat, man. You're the first one here chatting. That's great. And I want to work on a somewhat predictable schedule for the live shows, because I know, it's nice to have some sort of predictability, but I don't want to do it in a way to where it's like, well, I'd live stream then, but I'm not going to because I didn't have it previously scheduled. I think with these live streams, I think predictability is important, but I don't think that predictability should be a necessity. But I do want to get, whether it's Friday or, maybe Thursday or something like that, Fly Right Drones, Quicker Than Drawing. Yes. Y'all, welcome to the show. So, yeah, this show, a little bit of everything. We talk about drones, we talk about cameras. By the way, got the, and I hope I'm not saying it incorrectly, is it the ZV? The Z Victor 10. Anyway, it's just a basic, Sony is marketing it as a vlogger's camera. So, it'll use the Sony E-mount lenses. If you're not familiar with Sony E-mount, they've got a growing number of first-party and third-party lenses, both full-frame and APS-C. This particular camera is APS-C, which is a smaller sensor. Not saying it's poor quality, but it's a smaller sensor than the full frame that I'm filming this with. I'm filming this with a full frame A7R4 with a G Master 24 to 70 millimeter zoom lens. So, pretty good glass, pretty impressive camera body for this. But the secondary camera, the ZV-10, the Z Victor 10, when I get that, I'm going to have it set up to this, plugged into this A10 Mini Pro that I'm using for this. The value add of that, especially for the Timepieces for Tomorrow live shows, is that I can have a secondary camera to showcase certain items. And on this show, do some live unboxing videos, and I can use this pro audio equipment, have the face on camera, but also push a button and switch to the B camera, the secondary camera. So that's going to be a huge value add for the channel. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. Yes, that is good. So, excuse me. Hold on one second. Had the hiccups there. Yeah, got and swallowed too much air with excitement there. So, yeah. But so that's coming. That's going to be cool. I'm excited to see what it can do. And again, the cool thing about APS-C, and a lot of Sony lenses, by the way, if you see Sony lenses that are designated FE, Foxtrot Echo, those lenses are full frame. And Sony lenses that are just E, those are APS-C. But you can put a full frame Sony E-mount lens on an APS-C Sony camera body, and it'll actually, I think it's times 1.8 or something. Basically, it creates a more zoomed effect. So I've got a 16 to 35 millimeter G Master. It's an FE full frame lens that I'm going to pop on that Z Victor 10. So that's going to be pretty cool. Oh, whoa! Fly Right Drones got an IrixGuy's sticker. I remember you telling me about that. He said I tagged you on Instagram. Let me pull up my Insta here. I've got to check that out, man. That is pretty awesome. Yeah, and these stickers you can find below this live stream. I've got all my merch, and including the stickers there. Let me see. I've got to check. I got to check here. Did I miss Fly Right's? And admittedly, I use Instagram quite a bit, but obviously YouTube is my primary vehicle. So let me see here. All right, I'm trying to find that. Let's see. Do you know which day you sent it? Because I want to see this, man. I'm on my Instagram, IrixGuy, @IrixGuy on Instagram. Let's see. Well, I know it's on here. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Fly Right Drones. Man, I'm not seeing it. I'm feeling stupid. But that's awesome that you put it on your Air 2S case. Because that's that's a cool thing. And I'm curious, I know I've had some samples. Do you like the sticker design? I know it's not just a certain size, it's a sticker that kind of follows the design of the IrixGuy's Adventure Channel logo. So yeah, that's exciting, man, that you put that on your drone case. So let's see, what do we have here? We got the as I mentioned, the Sony is the Sony's coming in, and hopefully that'll be here. I remain bullishly optimistic that it'll be here in a few days, because that's going to be a definitely a game changer when it comes to using one camera versus multicam for these live streams. So that's going to be exciting. Want to put day before yesterday, I think. Shoot it back to me if you don't mind, man. I'll tell you, and this is really weird. When it comes to my Facebook and my Instagram, it's really weird. I don't know what it is, but Facebook and Instagram is the same company. For whatever reason, I have a hard time using those two platforms. It's like I try to post a link and the links don't work, and I don't know. I mean, YouTube is decades ahead of Facebook and Instagram, and actually all the other social media networks, in my opinion. YouTube just works, and it works exceptionally well. With Facebook and Instagram, man, I've had horrible luck with those platforms. I mean, I post a bunch of gibberish on both of them, but it's just been frustrating. It's definitely been frustrating to deal with those platforms. But definitely follow me on those platforms, because I try to post whatever I can. Actually, I posted the delightful beverage that I'm enjoying right now, a picture of it, on my IrixGuy's Adventure Channel, the IrixGuy Instagram. So, oh yeah. So it is Friday. I hope y'all had or not just had, but I hope you're still having a wonderful week. I know that my week has been full of joy, and got a lot of big things coming. So, it's always good to to sketch things out and just know what's coming together. And the biggest point of excitement that I have right now is the part, a sister sister brand of I shouldn't say a sister brand, I should say part of the IrixGuy's Adventure Channel's umbrella is the timepieces for tomorrow. And by the way, I've got today I've got the Black Bay 58, the Blue Bay 58, as they may say, on the wrist. Just a really, really cool 72-hour power reserve. You can swim with it. You can do whatever with it. And it's got a screw-down crown, so I don't really have to worry about it. Doesn't even have a date on it, so all you got is your time. But, yeah, that's what I'm really what I'm really fascinated about, because so many people, all different age groups, and, everybody. Every age, every gender, every ethnicity, most everybody loves wristwatches. So, that's a cool thing to follow. I love drones, and I always will love drones. The problem is that, with drones, man, and I'm excited for the next one to come out, but it's just gotten to be so cumbersome. Not only do you have to deal, right now with travel, you've got all the inconveniences, and I won't name what it is, but, if you turn on the news, it's front and center every day, every second. That's made travel inconvenient. But you couple that with trying to travel with a drone, and it gets to be, unfortunately, it gets to be really cumbersome. So I'm hoping that, us drone hobbyists, us drone aficionados, if we all band together, hopefully we can do something that will take this hobby of drones to the next level. Because, right now unfortunately it's floundering because of all the regulations, or perceived regulations. Sometimes people are in the right, and they think that they may be in the wrong, and they may err on the side of caution, which is responsible, but they may do that because there's so many regulations that aren't necessarily cut and dry. And, it's gotten a lot of, I'm just trying to think of the best word for it. It's gotten a lot of people, it's made a lot of people feel really confused, when you're talking about drones. So, for that reason, I know there's value in assembling some educational type content for drone users, beyond just the going out in the field and having a good time, putting together some educational content that can better enable, especially new drone enthusiasts, people that are just picking up a drone for the first time and really wanting to enjoy the hobby, putting together some content that can provide them with at least the initial confidence to get out and have fun, and to be responsible, and to be able to steer people to the correct, the appropriate official sources of information. So that, if they're questioning, well, should I do this or should I do that, or can I do this, can I do that? At least be able to point them in the direction of sites, official websites that contain official information. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of bad information out there. And if people, especially people that are new to the drone hobby, if they just bought a drone and haphazardly went out and flew it, to their credit, they may not realize that they're potentially doing something wrong. Or maybe they've watched some channels, not to name any in particular, but some channels on social media that tend to paint the use of drones in a questionable and or inappropriate way. If they watch that, then they may think, oh, I saw it online, it's okay. And again, that's something from day one that, I've always preached on this channel. Me being the drone evangelist, safe and responsible drone use, always emphasizing that safety component. Because if we don't do it as a community of drone hobbyists, if we don't preach safe and responsible drone use, this hobby will cease to exist. And that's not fair for anyone. So, I think now more than ever, there's a huge demand for education when it comes to drones. And that's not just, oh, you want to become a commercial pilot, here's some tips that may better enable you to pass that FAA Part 107. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just education when it comes to common sense. And, that's common sense is a component not just related to drones, but common sense is a component that is severely lacking in society nowadays as a whole. So, it's a challenging thing, to try to, and again, I don't want to use the word persuade, because if you're trying to persuade people, you're potentially trying to convince people to feel a certain way, and that's not the intent. The intent is to educate. So I guess I should say to educate, the up-and-coming drone community, making the drone community aware of what they can and can't do and where they can find the current guidelines. And again, I don't provide legal advice. I don't provide any sort of advice like that. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a member of the government. I don't provide any of that sort of advice. But what I can do is publish links where people can browse to and develop their own opinions based upon what appears within those links. So, yeah, it's interesting though to see to have witnessed a societal shift when it comes to drones. I mean, I remember, and I know a lot of y'all watching probably remember when drones first came out. And what was the drone? Well, it wasn't a drone; it was the DJI Phantom. I mean, that's what people in their mind, they saw that Phantom. They're like, they heard the buzzing in their head. They went out and they flew it, and then when they went home and went to sleep that night, they kept hearing that buzzing sound in their head, and they were just anxious, excited about those batteries recharging so they could get up the next morning and fly that DJI Phantom again. It was an uplifting experience, unlike anything else. I mean, it was, when drones first came out, drones were so new, they were so ahead of the times as far as technology was concerned. I mean, you're used to flying a model airplane, a model helicopter, shooting an Estes rocket up in the air with a C or a D motor and watching it go out of sight. But drones brought something brand new to the playing field. And, the fact that the more current drones started to have cameras attached that were gimbal stabilized. I mean, you're getting a cutting edge, silky smooth camera that can go anywhere and get these really cool perspectives. So, from a videographer's perspective, like myself, one of the most exciting things that I did was drone. All right, Kyle C., welcome aboard, sir. One of the most exciting things that I did with drones was drone Jeffrey Epstein's island. I'm like, well, there's this dude and he's in the news and, it's some bad stuff, but, why don't I just go drone? I mean, I obviously didn't invade privacy or anything like that. I'm out over international waters, but, flying around Jeffrey Epstein's island, that was a pretty cool moment. That was a really cool flight. Also, I remember down in Turks and Caicos, those islands are really cool. Just a lot of these little uninhabited islands. I'd get out there in a boat and I'd take the drone and, rock it in the sky, man. Just take it off and film. That's what it's all about. Getting out there and having a good time. Unfortunately, now, there's all the inconveniences, and it's just, if people could just be normal and not create problems, we would have such a stronger and such a more enjoyable society. And that's the problem. I mean, any technology or anything for that matter that can be an enjoyable experience, almost anything can be abused. And when it becomes abused, then it often becomes overly regulated. And as we know, most anything that becomes overly regulated is, it's kind of the nail in the coffin. Once something starts to achieve the regulated status, the writing's pretty much on the wall as to what's probably going to happen next. I've thoroughly not just enjoyed the drones. Let's see, we got Hybrid Life. No live show, I guess, no problem. Hybrid Life, we got to get up for that live show, man. I've had several. I've got a lot of, and I don't talk about this on here, but I've got several. I do a lot of consulting, and I've got a lot of things I've been putting together. But what I want to do in Hybrid Life, since you're on here, and I'm so glad you joined, can you do a live show? Maybe can you do Sunday this weekend? If so, what time Sunday are you available? Shoot me an email and let's work out a time and let's get it, let me know what your availability is. Saturday's out. Saturday is when I play golf. So that's an unavailable time. But yeah, Sunday, shoot me a message and let's see if we can solidify a time for Sunday. And if we can, shoot me that message tonight if you don't mind. And if we can, then I'll go ahead and schedule, all the show stuff so we can go ahead and start to raise awareness, and we can share it on social media and that sort of stuff. Cal C, any penny stocks on the radar? Well, and like always, when I talk about penny stocks, and by the way, Hybrid Life right there is a penny stock guru. So he's the GOAT of penny stocks. And that's what we're actually talking about. We're going to have a penny stocks and watches show. Talk about stocks, talk about watches. He's got something called Fig Pens, and I may have mispronounced that. Some really, really cool cutting edge stuff to talk about. So, but as far as any penny stocks on my radar, and again, this is for entertainment purposes only, this should not, and I repeat, this should not be considered a recommendation to buy or sell security. I'm saying this for entertainment purposes only. From an entertaining perspective, I will say there's a lot of stuff out there, and one of the biggest, and I don't know if you're probably aware of this, you're talking about penny stocks, but recently, a lot of the penny stocks that are not current are not able to be traded. You can't buy them, you can't sell them. So there's been a recent trend, and this trend's been around forever, but it was amplified because of the change in regulations. There's a lot of what you can call them shell plays, you can call them reverse merger plays. Basically, companies that were, Kyle says, too many wobbly pops while golfing to do a live show after all. You're right, and too many cracking open of natty lights. But yeah, there's several penny stocks that I have on the radar, and I don't want to drop a particular ticker symbol, but there's several that I have, and a lot of those are reverse merger plays. So, basically a reverse merger, there's a penny stock, let's say fictitious ticker XYZ. I just made that up. But it's something that's been around. In the past, it had legitimate or perceived legitimate business activity flowing through it. It may have had it in the past. It may have had an acceptable price per share. It may have gone to what's referred to as, a lot of people just say, dark status. It's they stopped reporting. Maybe the CEO, the old company, got locked up. Maybe they just fled. I mean, who knows what they did? But the company just doesn't report. They don't send out any updates. The stock price plummeted. Potentially it plummeted to 0.000, so it's .0002 price per share. I mean, it is in the gutter. So, a stock like that, today's penny stocks are, there's a lot of reverse merger plays. So what'll happen, someone coined a custodian being an individual or an agency. They'll come in and they'll say, okay, we're going to clean up this shell. Shell meaning, inactive penny stock. Once a company that was conducting business went dark, they didn't do anything for potentially a few years. So this custodian comes in. And what the custodian does, they clean up the shell. So they come in, they do all the stuff. They may reduce the number of shares. They may reverse split, but typically in this scenario, reverse splits are not part of the agenda. They can be, and that can really, really ruin you. But typically they'll just come in and clean it up. They'll make sure all the filings are current, and ultimately they'll get the status of the shell to pink sheet current. Pink sheets are the bottom of the barrel when it comes to penny stocks, over-the-counter bulletin board. And they'll get it to pink current, which means that it then, it's traded. Now it's able to be traded by most brokers. So you've got a stock that, was, whatever business in the past, and now they're acquired by a custodian. The custodian cleans it up. The custodian makes it a current status again in the pink sheets, and then they try to find a reverse merger candidate. So at a high level, what a reverse merger is, the typical way for a company to go public is called IPO. IPO is initial public offering. You see that on TV. You flip on the TV, you see the NASDAQ. People are ringing the bell in the New York Stock Exchange because they just went public. It's like, we just went public. Look at us. We're so cool. We're so fancy. The reality is that a lot of companies don't have the money to go public, by way of the traditional route, being an IPO, an initial public offering. So what those companies might do, they might seek a shell that's clean. So this custodian would approach, whatever company. It's like, oh, okay, you're private. You want to go public. You want to become a publicly traded company. I can make you a deal. And they can approach these companies. They can say, okay, well, I've got this shell and it's clean and everything's current and it's blah, 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 blah. They can do that. And that company can, in essence, go public that way and potentially save a ton of money versus the traditional IPO, initial public offering route. So the bottom line, and again, these things can all go sideways. And what I always tell everyone, and again, all of this is for entertainment purposes only, and there's a reason why I never mention individual specific tickers, is that typically what's going to happen with a penny stock, typically someone's going to lose it all. It's going to go belly up, lose everything you put into it. That's probably what's going to happen. But in rare circumstances, these are stocks that could potentially, again, not guaranteed, but it has happened in the past with multiple tickers. They can sometimes go from 000 range. So imagine if you spent, hypothetically, a few $100, money that you expected to just lose. You put a few $100 in a stock that was priced at .0002, 0002. And let's say hypothetically that stock went to 30 cents. If timing and everything's right and you're able to exit, that's a significant amount of money that could be that could be generated there. Again, expect to lose it all. But that's what creates the appeal. That's why penny stocks are so appealing, is that, people see it's a casino. It is gambling. But, sometimes everything comes together. The stars are aligned, but most of the time expect to lose it all, because that's probably what's going to happen. With that said, penny stocks are fun. And I started trading back in the early days of the internet, back when you had CompuServe, AOL, and Prodigy. I don't know if you remember those days. But the web browser back then, there was a browser. It's not Internet Explorer, it's not Chrome, it's not Firefox. This is way back then. It was called Netscape Navigator. And I invested in Netscape Communications as a kid. I cut grass, I pushed that lawnmower, made a few $100 here and there. I wasn't anybody, but when other kids were taking that money, mowing grass, and buying a video game or buying something, whatever, I was taking that grass money, that lawn mowing money. I was a lawn mowing professional, and I took that money, I invested it in the stock market. Netscape, NSCP, boom, 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 boom. That was my initial introduction to the stock market. And of course, I was so young at the time, I couldn't invest the funds through my broker. So I had to go through my folks. I'd say, here's the money, take it to my broker. Here's what I want to buy. Here's how many shares I want to buy. And they had to do. So I had the parents in the middle, and then I had the broker, because this was before online trading. So, you had a brick and mortar institution. You would go and meet your broker in the brick and mortar institution, and they would actually place a trade. So, the introduction of online brokerages like we have today that we trade stocks with, a lot of us, we just accept that as the norm. But if you dealt with stocks, pre-internet, you were purchasing stocks the old-fashioned brick and mortar way. And it was just, there wasn't as much, and the thing that was interesting about that time, there wasn't as much volatility. And obviously, volatility is what creates the ability for day traders, people that are, momentum traders, people to get in, get out quickly, and potentially make a small gain or a small loss. That was something that was more difficult to do back in the brick and mortar days. The day trading fad did not really catch on until you had online brokers. So stocks are a fascinating thing, Kyle, and I know you're probably as addicted to them as I am, and it's just one of those things. It's detective work. You got to go in and decipher all of the gibberish from potentially accurate news. There's, for the most part, I would say 80% of anything that someone sees surrounding a penny stock ticker is probably gibberish. But, if you can learn to decipher what is real and what's not, and the thing is with a lot of those, not just the traders in the forums, but with a lot of penny stocks, the companies themselves, and again, not that their intent is necessarily to be misleading, but a lot of times the companies themselves really will release a press release that contains information that if you read it one way, it means this, or you read it another way. So they wordcraft things in a way so that the potential investor may feel that ticker is on the up and up and it's an investment opportunity, whereas in reality it's a fluff press release, but they did it in a way to where it doesn't really have anything that's inaccurate. It's just up to so you really got to know, my thing is with penny stocks, if you're going to gamble with them, you need to be very well versed when it comes to grammar, because you can read. There are so many things that one can read, and they can be interpreted in many different ways. So one of the things that I would throw out there initially, just one of the most important things is should, intend to, plan to, hope to. Those are what are referred to as forward-looking statements. Never do they say will or anything like that. When there's a press release or something that says we will, and then they stipulate a date, or we will by X date that's stipulated, then that's more concrete. But if they say our company intends to do blah, blah, blah by X date, that's just, that holds really no weight at all. That's just a forward-looking statement, and they don't seem to have any confidence in, whatever they're conveying happening. So be very careful when you read press releases and really learn to decipher, what could be real versus what's probably just fluff. And that's not even talking about what you learn in the penny stock forum. So, there's so much gibberish out there, man. I mean, it's an interesting game. It really is. It's a super exciting game to play. But again, expect to lose it all, because that's probably what's going to happen. And I'm not just saying that I'm not trying to discourage anyone. I mean, it's a fun way to, it's a casino. That's all it is, the penny stocks. The penny stock world is just a big casino. The big B 1973, the beach you posted a couple weeks ago, where is that? And do you have travel info? Yes, I do. Which, let's see, I post a lot of beaches here. Let me see if I can find the one that you said a couple weeks ago. So I did one that was in front of Shipwreck Bar in St. Kitts. That was the Black Sand Beach. Then I did Honeymoon Beach in St. John. Then I did White Bay on Joost Van Dyke in the British Virgin Islands. Then I did Reggae Beach in St. Kitts. I did Jeffrey Epstein's Island. Which one of those, the Big B 1973, which one of those are you curious about? We'll talk about it. Ask your questions, man. I'll tell you everything I know. Had super clear. Oh, yeah. Yep. So I think, and I'm going to post a link right here, I think I know the one you're talking about. So here's one of them. I'm going to post the link here for you. This is one where I was walking to shore. Now this one you don't get to. You got to take a boat, because there's no helicopter pad or anything on this island. Oh, so the one I just posted was the one you're talking about. So that link that I just posted, walking to shore, White Bay, Joost Van Dyke. So let me just go through it. So I'm going to go with the assumption, I may be incorrect, but I'm going to go with the assumption that you may be traveling from the United States. So here's how you would get there. So Jost Van Dyke is in the British Virgin Islands. So, and again, I'm a super thrifty adventure traveler. You know, I keep everything as lean as possible from a financial perspective. So here's how I do it, and here's how I would share with you and anyone else that's watching this video live or previously recorded. So what you want to do is you want to go to St. Thomas, which is in the United States Virgin Islands. Typically, if you're on the East Coast, you can fly from, and again, with all this stuff that's in the news, you know, travel's gotten to be a difficult. So with that being said, historically, what I would do is go out of Charlotte, North Carolina. And from Charlotte, I would get a direct flight into Cyril E. King International Airport. Cyril E. King is St. Thomas's airport. So I fly into Cyril E. King. I already have my rental car waiting. It's a Jeep. It comes from Discount Car VI. Look up their website. Actually, I'll post a link. Let me post a link to that. So Discount Car VI. Be sure to tell them that Captain IrixGuy referred you. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about this. This is a pretty funny story. So, yeah, in advance of your travel, contact Discount Car VI. Tell them you want to rent a Jeep. Tell them that Captain IrixGuy referred you. So here's the thing. In St. Thomas, the first time I ever went, there was arrived. You know, I had the rental car booked through one of the big rental car agencies, and got there. Hey, we're out of cars. So when you book your rental car in St. Thomas, and this is the only way I do it, it's Discount Car VI, not to be confused with the big chain. Discount Car VI is a local rental car outfit in St. Thomas. They pick you up in front of baggage claim in your Jeep, and then you sign the papers. And when you return to the airport, they take you back to the front door of the airport in your Jeep and drop you off. Super hassle-free. And the best part is that Jeep, and we're going to talk about this here in a minute, what you'll do is get your Jeep, and then you'll drive to the east end of St. John. You will get on the car ferry. Don't buy a round trip because there's multiple operators, and if you do a round trip pass, then you're locked into a specific operator, you know, when you come back. So get that one-way ticket and go over to St. John. St. John is also the United States. It's the United States USVI, the United States Virgin Islands. In advance, be sure to book, you know, where you're going to stay in St. John. Shoot me a message, facebook.com/IrixGuy, and I can provide you a plethora of places I recommend to stay in St. John. So that's the best place to stay. St. John has wonderful beaches, Honeymoon Beach. Check out my video with that. Cinnamon Bay, Trunk Bay, Maho Bay, tons of beaches on St. John. A lot of it's a national park. That's why the beaches are so pristine. You don't have the high rises and all that over there. It's just a natural island. But to get to Jost Van Dyke, which is White Bay, the video that you were asking me about, you'll just take a people ferry. That's the way I do it. Cheap, effective. Take the people ferry from Cruise Bay on St. John, which is the main little downtown area with the restaurants. Check their schedule because they usually run once or twice a week. Find out which day they go to Jost Van Dyke, and take the people ferry from Cruise Bay in St. John to Jost Van Dyke. They leave in the morning. They take you right to the island. You just walk over a little hill. I mean, it's a short 10-minute walk, and boom, there you are on White Bay. Soggy Dollar Bar, all the beach bars, that beautiful beach. That's it. And then at the end of the day, that ferry comes back, takes you back to St. John. So, you know, that's the best way to do it. And again, you know, there's exotic ways to do it. I mean, you can take a boat over there. You can, you know, whatever you want to do. I mean, it's however you want to do it. But that's how I do it because it's cheap and effective. Unless I'm on a boat. I was on a boat the day that I filmed the video that you watched. But yeah, highly recommend that. Jost Van Dyke is one of my favorite islands. It really is. And be sure, whatever you do when you're there, be sure to have all of those nice, just absolutely incredible drinks with the freshly grated nutmeg on top. The Painkiller, that's probably their most popular, but don't limit yourself to the Painkiller. Their BBC is really good. I mean, they've got so many amazing drinks. So, yeah, it's that's what I would do, man. That's how I would get there. It's the only, well, not the only way I'd get there because I take a boat over there a lot, but that's that is the way. Okay. Yep. So the big B 1973. Cool. Thanks. I'll show her this video later. Might go next year. Seriously, any questions you have, just drop me a message, facebook.com/IrixGuy, and I'm more than happy to answer. I've got, depending upon how many people is going, just you and your wife, whatever. I've got recommendations. I mean, all different size vacation rentals on St. John, and I would definitely stay on St. John, just because when you're not, I would do, this would be a 1-day day trip to Joost Van Dyke, and also another day trip that I would recommend would be, and it's the People Ferry, same deal as well, out of Cruise Bay, St. John, would be Virgin Gorda. Check out my videos on my channel, Virgin Gorda. So yeah, and Virgin Gorda is on the look it up on a map. So here's what you do: just go to Google Earth and then pull up St. Thomas. And when you're looking at St. Thomas, go to the east, directly to the east of St. Thomas is St. John. And then when you look kind of to the east of that, you'll see Joost Van Dyke. And then kind of a little bit further away, you'll see Virgin Gorda. By the way, Virgin Gorda is a stone's throw from Necker Island, which is Sir Richard Branson's island. The Virgin, the guy that went up in space in his own little spaceship. His little private island is just a stone's throw from Virgin Gorda. But Virgin Gorda is really cool because it's got a unique. The beach is really neat. You go through what's called the Bass, Baths. You can crawl through these rock formations, and it's it's just a very very interesting environment, unlike any other beach that I've explored. So definitely worth it. But if you're only going to do one of the 2-day trips, I would definitely do Joost Van Dyke. If you've even got more time, or if you want to get a captain, just a small boat to take you around, you can hit up a lot of stuff. If I had a captain, what I would do is I would leave St. John with the captain, and I've got recommendations, and shoot me a message. But I would leave St. John with the captain on their boat, and I would hit up Norman, Norman Island, which Norman Island is a stone's throw from St. John and Joost Van Dyke, but Norman Island is the home of what's called the William Thornton, the Willie T. So it's basically an old pirate ship, and you can just go over there and just get wasted and jump off the back of it. And even if you don't drink, it's worth going to because they've got really good food, man. They've got fresh yellowfin tuna. They've got this really good soy sauce and wasabi to go with it. I mean, it's on a pirate ship. I mean, you can't beat it. And then also on Norman Island, not the William Thornton, the Willie T, but there's a restaurant on the beach there. It's called the Pirate's Bite, and it is super duper good. And if you go to the Pirate's Bite, there's a drink that I would definitely get there. It's called the Dark and Stormy. That's their drink. So Pirate's Bite, get the Dark and Stormy. The Willie T, get whatever. It's all good. Soggy Dollar Bar on Joost Van Dyke, definitely get the Painkiller. But check out the BBC. Check out, dude. Just I got a stack from Soggy Dollar. You get these little plastic cups. I got a stack about that tall. We've been there several times, and those drinks never get old, man. I mean, they are super good. And but yeah, that's you can't beat the Virgin Islands. I mean, I go all over the place. The Virgin Islands are St. John is definitely my favorite place to stay. And then, those 2-day trips, Joost, and or actually 3, Joost, Norman Island, and Virgin Gorda, those are awesome. I've also stayed on Peter Island, in the British Virgin Islands, and that place that was my honeymoon. So it's a private island, and it can be definitely on the pricey end of the scale. It's very nice. I would definitely recommend checking it out. If you want more of if you don't just want a vacation rental, if you want something more luxurious, Peter Island in the British Virgin Islands, you can't go wrong. You'll never forget that, man. The Big B 1973. How can I get a hold of you? Direct message for any info. Yeah, no doubt. The best way to get a hold of me directly is just facebook.com/IrixGuy, IrixGuy, and you can just shoot me a direct message on there. That's the best way to get me. Is on Facebook. And you can also always just comment on any of my videos. And if you haven't checked out all my videos, check out I've got United States USVI playlist, British Virgin Islands playlist, St. Martin playlist, Anguilla playlist, St. Kitts playlist, Nevis playlist, St. Bart's playlist. St. Bart's is another really cool place, and that's French. It's a French island, but I will warn you that here's the thing. The thing that's so cool about the United States Virgin Islands is that it's not on the higher end of the price scale. I mean, you can eat phenomenal food. And by the way, in St. John, you need to go there at least once. It's called Morgan's Mango. It's my favorite restaurant on St. John. Favorite restaurant after the Zozo's at Canil Bay. Canil Bay closed, but Zozo's was in an old like just like a rum thing. What do you call that? Forget the name of it, but where they made rum. It was really, really cool. But yeah, it was a phenomenal restaurant. But Morgan's Mango is 10 out of 10, super good. But yeah, if you considered St. Bart's in the French West Indies, that's a cool place. But you can only get to St. Bart's in a small commuter plane. You can't fly in a jet, or you can take a ferry over. Whatever you want to do. But St. Bart's can be on the high end. I know one of the most expensive meals that I ever bought was in St. Bart's, and it's a phenomenal place. But I mean, ultimately, if you're like me, and again, I go to all these islands because it's part of my YouTube business. Getting out, seeing what's there, and sharing the sharing the experience with others in the form of videos. But if it wasn't for my YouTube business, the places that I would frequent, obviously, without a doubt, it would be St. John and Jost Van Dyke. I mean, that's, I could have those two islands and I could be, perfectly content. And, but I do like to check the other islands out. And I tell you one that, and these islands lacked any sort of, terrain. It was pretty much all flat, but Turks and Caicos, wonderful food, phenomenal restaurants. But it was just really, really flat. Nice beaches, very nice. But see, on St. John, you get the terrain. You got the mountains. It's really cool. Yeah, it's really cool. But, yeah, shoot me a message, and I'll do my best to answer any questions you may have. And that's what I'm here for, man. If there's anything in particular you're curious about, just ask, because I've got tons of videos. I mean, I've got the tons of videos that I have up on my channel now. But what you may not know is that I have even more videos that I haven't posted yet. So if there's anything in particular you're curious about, just ask. And if I've got video footage, heck, I'll whip up a video and put it up on my channel so that, you can share it with your wife and say, hey, here's what this looks like or whatever. I've even got a video that shows how to walk from the cruise ship port, St. Thomas, down to the downtown Charlotte Amalie waterfront shopping area. If there's something that can provide travelers with value, it's something that, if I haven't already posted, it's something that, I hope to post in the near future. So, ask away, and that's great. That's one of my favorite travel's one of my favorite components of this channel. And, unfortunately, because of the current situation, travel's been so inconvenient that I haven't really gotten out and, and done everything that I wanted to do within the past couple years. I mean, I was planning to be in Curacao and then Martinique and then also St. Lucia. But it's just, what you may not know, a lot of these islands now, because of the current situation, a lot of them aren't allowing guests at all, whether you got a vaccine or not. So just something to be aware of. So, check things out before you go and see what the current status is, because I know it's been changing, like, on a daily basis. But everyone, thanks for tuning in. We're about 50 minutes into this live stream. Appreciate everyone tuning in. I got a lot more live streams coming soon. And, like I said, I've got that secondary camera, so the quality is going to be, really amplified. But most importantly, it's your viewership, your super chats, your subscriptions, and sharing with others that makes this such an enjoyable experience. So with that being said, I hope y'all have a great evening, and I'll see you on the next live stream. See you later.